With Nature Glow's e-science. Does your family struggle to stay focused on homeschooling through the holidays? Consider unit studyizing through the holidays. And what I mean is using unit studies to get through the holidays. It's really a great way to find your child's top passions during the holiday season. What if it's something as simple as decorating the Christmas tree? You could do a unit study on Christmas trees for that child. Or another child could be passionate about Thanksgiving, so they could study like the history of Thanksgiving. They could study recipes, or, well, they could do their favorite recipes and write about that, do creative writing exercises and whatnot all around Thanksgiving. There's so many creative options, and I think what happens is that families just stress themselves out with around the whole tradition of preparing the foods, the gifts, and all the money that goes into that, and all the traveling around. Now, of course, this year, 2020, it's going to be interesting and different. I know some people are still going to be gathering anyway, despite, certain state ordinances about not doing so. People will do what they're going to do. Whatever you choose to do is your choice, for sure. But I know that there are also a lot of families that are not going to be traveling, and things are going to be a lot more low-key, and that brings on a different type of stress. The stress of missing out, loneliness, not seeing your family members, having to Skype or do Zoom sessions instead of being in person. It's a whole different paradigm now with that. A whole different type of community that's building around, what's happening globally. And it's tough emotionally on people because the human species really thrives on in-person connection and, touch and hugs. And, it's proven scientifically that, giving someone a hug is just so healthy physically for us. And so a lot of people are missing out on that when they're not getting their holiday time with their family in person. And I know there's a high rate of, elderly people that are within the age range of dangers of getting the COVID-19. So many of them are being left alone over the holidays, and this brings up a lot of emotional challenges. So during this time, you can think of creative ways if you're one of those families that won't be seeing, the grandparents, the family members in their golden years. Maybe just have your kids write letters, do special video skits, like Zoom skits, just something to raise both of your spirits, both their spirits and your spirits during this trying time. And, just as my personal advice for holiday season is just to try to, not get stressed out, take deep breaths, do yoga, do something to help keep balance, and only do what you can do. I know a lot of people have the type A personality that they have to do everything above and beyond, It's hard unwiring that. You may be forced to do that this year, though. So we'll take it year to year. But I do have a unit study planner for those of you who have not heard of Nature Glow's e-science yet. It's I call it my snappy, easy unit study template. It's a planner, and you can download that and talk to each of your children or sit down as a family and discuss what you want to do through the holidays instead of it being like this maddening rush and just hysteria, just focus on what your children are interested in doing through the holidays and make that your homeschool curriculum. And my personal suggestion, take it or leave it, is to drop academics through the holidays, unless you and your kids absolutely love doing that. But just like I mentioned, just doing unit studies around holiday topics. And the unit study planner that I'm giving you is a perfect companion for doing that. Super easy to fill out. I give you blocks for each of the subjects. I also give you a sample planner so you can see how easy it is to do. And then sit down as a family, and each child can have their own, or if your family likes to do things collectively, you can choose one unit study theme. You know, like I said earlier, could be Thanksgiving, since Thanksgiving is already coming up. You know, maybe it's something like turkeys. I know I worked at a private school last year, and the kids actually got involved in harvesting. Not all the kids. Some kids couldn't handle it. But they would harvest the turkeys, and that means that they would slaughter them, like pluck their feathers and prepare them for the feast. And we had a really huge feast. It was actually a Thanksgiving / Christmas feast. It was one big feast for both holidays, which spared us a lot of stress. But yeah, so that was really interesting. Not that you necessarily want to do that as a family. And it would be too late anyway, because they actually got the turkeys when they were chicks, and then, or poults, whatever. Yeah, I think they're called poults. And so they fed them, they watched them grow up, and a lot of the kids couldn't handle it. So there were only like a few handfuls of the students that actually were willing to do that activity of harvesting them. So, but that's like a unit study right there, you know. They're learning about the anatomy of the turkey and how to slaughter them humanely so that they experience as little pain as possible. And they were organic. They were fed like organic grains, and they really did a great job. So, all right, there are some ideas for you. And please give me a thumbs up, share this video. Love comments as well. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, and go ahead and grab that unit study planner to use through the holidays.